Okay, so I'm joined by the guitar legend, Tom Morello himself. How you doing,
I'm
mate?
well. How are you, sir?
I'm grand. Like this is a bit one of those nerve-wracking ones for me. Like
It's going to
you
be
know.
okay. I'll be gentle.
Amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, one of the big questions that I want to ask you is obviously about the recent controversy surrounding Barclays and their sponsorship.
Sure.
I mean, we had bands pull out last minute, Pest Control, Zulu, Speed, Ithaca, etc.
Yeah.
And obviously, Barclays ended up ending their sponsorship.
Yeah.
Isle of Wight, Latitude, and Download.
Yeah.
It was a tweet that you put out that you'd been doing things behind the scene. Can you tell me what these things might have been? What pressure you were
calling
putting
up
on?
and throwing tantrums with every booking agent, and every manager, and everybody around. A company like that is complicit in war crimes has no business at a heavy metal festival. Period. And I commend the bands that pulled out. I think that, it was a combination of different strategies that helped make it happen at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, we brought a multi-billion-dollar company to its knees.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So obviously they did this very last minute. This would have obviously had a huge financial impact on them and potentially fan impact as well.
Yeah.
So you said you've commended them. Did you reach out to them in any way? Did you give them any support in that
I didn't.
regard?
I mean, I didn't reach out to them because I was trying to. In organizing, there's a lot of multiple ways to skin a cat, and I think that they did a great job in helping to make it a news story, bring it to the attention of the Barclays shareholders and whatnot. And then there were some other levers that we pulled behind the scenes that were helpful at the end of the day. Metal fan, this festival I know is like, it's got nothing to do with that. Like, here's the thing, is for me, there's sort of twin imperatives. One is to not support a corporation that is complicit in war crimes. And two is, I feel there's a covenant with fans. Like, if you tell them you're going to be at a place and they spend their hard-earned money to be there, you got to be there. So in Rage Against the Machine fans, especially, who have been canceled on a few times, I was like, I want to do everything in my power to kick Barclays the fuck out so that I can play the show in good conscience.
So was there actually a risk if Barclays maintained you could have?
It would have been. But at the end of the day, there was a lot of pressure from a lot of different angles. So it was cool.
Because I do remember years ago, and I can't remember the complete context, which is bad at me, but years ago with obviously Rage Against the Machine, you did a protest in America live on stage where you didn't play.
Yes.
Honestly, that was brilliant. I remember seeing that.
Yeah. We stood there naked. It was for the PMRC, the pro-censorship organization, and we stood there on stage with the letters PMRC on our chest, duct tape on our mouths, and our wieners out.
Yeah. Bizarrely enough, when this all kicked off and Barclays came up, I was thinking is Tom going to play? If he does, is he actually going to play? Or is something like this going to happen? Because unlike the bands that did pull out, you definitely have more clout, and I think I can speak for many music fans, because there was a real conflict. If you ask people out in the arena, how do we feel about this? I know people that haven't come simply because of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let me tell you, I used every bit of my clout to do whatever I could to help get them off the fucking bill.
Amazing. Well, I'm going to say from myself personally, I really appreciate that work you did.
Yeah.
And more delighted you're still playing for us.
Exactly.
Now I want to move on to the recent announcement of your new single, Soldier in the Army of Love.
Yeah.
And it's obviously from your new album, I think coming in June, is that correct?
The single's coming in June, the record later. Yeah.
So this is what I found interesting. You've worked with, as you described him, your guitar wizard son.
Yes.
He's 13 years old.
Yes. I've been relegated. I'm now the rhythm guitar player in my family.
Amazing. So I think back to when I was 13. I was not doing it. I was like on my Mega Drive and stuff.
No. I mean, it's like he keeps me sharp. During the pandemic, while all of us were baking bread and trying to learn Spanish or something, he spent all that time woodshedding. And one day I heard him playing a couple of these riffs in his room, and I went in and I'm like, what is that? And he says, Dad, I think these two riffs go together. And I was like, I'm sure they do, son. Can your dad borrow them a little bit? But no, he's got the Morellian genes to write those heavy riffs, and it was a real honor, and a real pleasure, as Father's Day is, in a couple of days from now, to be able to rock a jam with my son. It's an awesome. This record it's the first solo Tom Morello rock album. I've made records that were collaborative, records that were rock, but with, industrial touches, this, that, and the other. And I really wanted to make a record that had all of the big riffs, my point of view, and my son shredding.
Yeah. So how much creative input did he actually have? I mean,
he wrote all the riffs on the song and played the guitar solo.
So, as you said, you've been completely relegated.
Yeah, I've been relegated.
So,
I have been completely relegated. But the good news is, like, I don't know if you had a chance to hear the song, but like the DNA is shared.
No, the song is terrific. I listened to it this morning and I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So, like, the Morello name is going to continue. If you've got a legacy there, so
well, I mean, I feel comfortable now. Like that my main competition is a 13-year-old kid.
Well, he's still 13. You still like look after him. You get a level of control.
Yeah. At some point, I might have to like cut his guitar cord. Slow down, youngster. No, I'm completely supportive and I love it. It's just awesome to
That's fantastic. Now, I want to move on to something a bit more fun. Because I've been doing a segment called All the Fun of the Festival for the majority of my bands that I've interviewed.
Okay.
So I'm going to cut down to like just 1 or 2 questions on that because I'm conscious of time.
Yeah.
What would your fantasy festival lineup be? So this is
Living or dead?
Living or dead, absolutely anyone.
Okay.
I'm saying round about 5 bands, otherwise we'll be here
Sure,
all
I'll just do it I'll do it off the top of my head. Fantasy. I reserve the right to change my mind later, but I'll say this festival is headlined by Led Zeppelin. Playing right before them would be The Clash. Right before them would be Ozzy Osbourne with Randy Rhoads, right? Then let's go with a Public Enemy circa '89, and then the opening act. Give me Pussy Riot.
Good, cool. Go on, you got to give a secret performance from your own son on there. He's got to have a
and Roman Morello guesting with each of them.
Exactly. What a legend.
Yeah.
I would say, like, have you got a name for this? But
no, for the festival.
But that's putting you on the spot too much.
Yeah.
Now, you've been to a lot of festivals as well. Have you got any funny or even gross festival stories? I love this one.
Yeah, we were just talking about one the other day, like playing, what do you call it? The big muddy festival in England at what is it? The biggest festival, the biggest one in the country.
Glastonbury?
Glastonbury,
That's it.
Glastonbury. So playing Glastonbury some years ago, I remember like walking around like the campgrounds, and it looked like, I was like, are some of these people alive? Like it looked like, when you see those like bodies at Pompeii, like they're completely encased in mud and like dogs and whatnot. I remember like prodding them and going like, medic. But I think they were just having too nice a time.
They were having a lot of fun. Do you know, I've been to a couple of Glastonbury's, terrible rain. Walked out one morning, I was like, that's devastation. Like the rain was so bad on the hill, tents had slid down into each other. I was like,
terrible. It's terrible.
If they're soldiering on.
Yeah. But I will say my favorite memory from any festival ever, clearly, it was sort of a one-band festival, was Rage at Finsbury Park, 2010, which was, like one of the all-time career highlights and probably the greatest crowd. I mean, it rivaled Queen at Live Aid that night there.
Was that the free concert we got? Yeah. See, I tried to go to that and tickets were gone within a second.
Yeah. You should have been among. I think we were allowed to sell like 50,000 tickets, and there were another like 50,000 fans outside who broke the fences down. So you probably could have.
Yeah. Well, that's rock and roll for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now I'm going to end on. I normally like to end on a joke when I've got them, and I've run out of them. So you're the only one I'm telling this one to. I'm guessing you're not a fan of your ex-American president, Mr. Trump.
Not the biggest fan.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I mean, there's a horrible risk he's getting back in power, isn't there?
Yes.
Well, have you heard one about one of his policies is ridiculous. He wants to outlaw shredded cheese. Have you heard this?
No.
He wants to make America great again.
Oh, dad jokes at download.
Yes.
That's the name of my festival, Dad Jokes at Download.
Done. Amazing. Well, Tom, I want to thank you so much
for chatting to us.
It's been amazing.
Thank you.
So
My
much.
pleasure. Enjoy the show today, man.
Cheers.